Okay, nothing to report on the injury front. Great team win. I mean, great team win going up against the number one, who is right now the number one seed in the AFC. Obviously, coached by a legend. They've earned their right and the respect that they've gotten. Our guys came ready to play. We played well in all three phases. It wasn't perfect in any phase, but when you're playing the best teams in the league, that's the way you got to win football games. And we played very well. The way we physically played up front was great. Special teams played huge. Defense has really been playing dominant football. Really happy with how the defense is playing. Really happy with how we're running the ball, and had some long drives today. So well done by the team. So I'll open it up from there.
Like the first touchdown, that play. Can you take us through where you got it, how it came to be, and what exactly did you do there?
You owe me $20.
That was not the Philly special.
Someone told me that you had a quote that you tweeted that if we scored on the Philly special, I'm not kidding you, Bob. When we put that in, I thought about you, and I said, I'm telling Bob he owes me $20. This is this is a version of the Philly special.
Is that right?
That's a version of it. So there you go. I take Venmo. But it was appropriate given the opponent.
When you look at the run-pass balance, we've talked about that a lot this year. They knew you were going to go to Taylor in the fourth quarter. They knew you were going to go to him in the last drive. Did you sense a big one coming, or did that surprise you?
No, it didn't surprise me, but you never know. I mean, they're so well coached, right? And what I have seen over and over again is that if you can just keep pounding them with the offensive line we have and with the backs we have, over all the years, that I've been doing this, it just breaks because it just takes one guy on defense to get in the wrong gap. And, there was some discussion right there. I almost called a pass, feeling like we got to make a first down here. And I said, no, I'm going to call one more run. Talked it over with the staff, with Marcus, and, said, no, let's just call one more run. And then, John, it just popped.
As you see him get through that gap and then he slides right past Hightower, what's going through your mind? Because he's not to the end zone, obviously, yet.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking there's no way anybody's catching him. I mean, there's no way anybody's catching him. If I remember, we're typically in what we call church mode right there, where he could have gone down at the one, but they told me up top a second late, right? They told me up top a second late, and I'm like, when they said, hey, we should be in church mode right here, I said, too late for this. Thank goodness, right? I'm glad he got the touchdown. It keeps his string alive, right? So that's a good thing.
Frank, you went for it on fourth down 3 times, 3 sneaks. That last one, at least the analytics we saw, was kind of a toss-up. What were you seeing there, feeling?
Just feeling like, we got the offensive line and the quarterback to do it, and have to be aggressive. We have to be aggressive. I know it's only half a yard, but we're minus territory, I think, on 2 of those. But just felt like I talked about it with George Lee and John Park, our analytics guys. We talk these scenarios through all the time, and I just had kind of had my mind made up that if it was a half yard or less, we were going no matter what, and no matter where it was, and I just thought that's what it would take to win the game.
Right. To win a game like this with that sort of passing production that you had today, what's your takeaway from that? Just being able to do that, and then any concern about just the passing game?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. What my takeaway is, man, I'm fired up about it. Like, I'm so happy about it. Great defense and a great run game. The time that we've been here, I'm not worried about being dynamic in the passing game. I have zero worries about the passing production today. So we've proven that over 4 years that we can be dynamic in the pass game. But what we need to prove is that we can win games like this with great defense and running the football.
Speaking of that defense, this just seemed as dialed in as they've been to start a game. So what have you seen out of them coming out of the bye week to now that let them be that way tonight?
The defense? Yeah, I mean, I've felt it for about 3 or 4 weeks now. Like our defense is literally, I can't explain it, but we're getting better. Like, I can tangibly feel it in every area, every player. The way we're game planning it, the way we're calling it, the way we're playing it. I can feel it's getting better and better. We're adjusting as the year's going on to what we're doing right, how our players are playing, and they're playing their techniques. They're reading it. They're reading it great. They're playing it great. We're making plays. Really, really happy with the direction our defense is going.
At one point, you're 1-4. A week and a half ago, you're on the outside looking in on the playoff line. Now this team is currently the 5th seed in the AFC. What has impressed you over the past month, winning 5 of the last 6 games of work, put you guys in this position?
I mean, I'm not surprised. Our players aren't surprised. There's a lot of belief, a lot of conviction on this team that we have the guys, we have the coaches, we have the process. We say, right, our MO from the start is, if that's really true, then we'll play our best football in November and December. We'll keep getting better, we'll learn from our mistakes, and we'll play our best football in November and December. And we had a tough schedule early on, and we didn't play well enough. We didn't coach well enough, we didn't play well enough, and we've learned from it and continue to get better. But, you know, we're the 5 seed. We got to win every one of these games. I mean, what we said in there was, hey, this is a great team win, but this counts for 1. It counts for 1, that's it. And so we got to dial it back in and get ready to play, obviously, the best team in the NFL next Saturday.
Frank, all that said, you've been here long enough to know what beating that team means to this fan base. What have been your takeaways, just watching this build up to this game, and then just the way you guys won this game physically?
Well, two things. I'm glad you asked me that question, Stephen, because first of all, what it means is it's one of the reasons why, as a team, we gave Mr. Irsay a game ball, and because it does mean a lot. And he's, as the owner, he's been behind us he does whatever it takes, and and because of that, we had talked about it in there. I talked about it in there with a couple of guys the moment wasn't right for other reasons in there, because we were kind of honoring Ryan and Ryan and Emma and what they're going through right now. But I did want to say here, on behalf of Mr. Irsay and the team, we're going to give our fans kind of the game ball like that. They were massive today. They were having problems with the noise. They had the penalties. So great job, great energy by our fans today.
What does this one mean to you, knowing 12 years against that team? I think you were probably on the sideline for that one.
Yeah, it means a lot. So I'm more worried about this team and where we're going and how we started the year, not winning these kind of games against these kind of teams. And, now we've won 2 out of 3 against these, we beat the Bills, lost to Tampa, and now beat this team. So I feel good about that, but we still got to get better.
How often do you give Carson context with a play call?
Excuse me?
How often do you give context to Carson with a play call? You spit it out, it's like, if this isn't there, then take X. How often does that happen?
It happens a handful of times every game. All that context is given. We cover so many scenarios before the game, and we play out so many scenarios, how it's going to go, and then in moments before drives, we might say something. Hey, let's be smart here on this drive, or let's do this, or let's do that. And so thought really Carson did a good job in many respects today, managing what we were doing in the run game, getting us in the right run, which obviously against that team there was a lot of stuff going on. So couldn't be happier with the trajectory really our whole team is on, and him as our quarterback.
So when did Bubba call the block punt?
He was talking it all week. He was talking about it all week. I mean, he's on a roll. So he should go to Vegas or whatever. I mean, the man is on a roll. Bubba's such a good coach. He's such a good coach, such a good leader. He really has those guys playing well. They believe. You can't say enough about Bubba. Really, all 3 of our coordinators did a great job. The coaching staff did a phenomenal job in this game. You're going up against, right? You're going up against the smartest coach in the history of the game, and we went toe for toe, not only on the field but what we did schematically in all 3 phases. I think it's fair to say we held our own in that regard as well. So credit to our three coordinators and our coaching staff.